Hi everybody, my name's Bobcat Goldthwait. How about a round of applause for yourselves? You're a pretty young crowd, I'll let you know that right away. Some of you weren't born when I was relevant, but I was very big in the 80s, very big in the 80s.
I do stand-up comedy because there's a connection with the audience that I don't get. I know, it's how I make a living. Doesn't bring me any joy anymore. I am doing a comedy show. Hopefully it'll be a hybrid of stand-up comedy and people talking about movies. Of course, if it goes horribly wrong, I'll probably just revert to my Police Academy character for 35 minutes.
Please welcome Barry Crimmins.
The movie's called Call Me Lucky, and it's a documentary about my good friend Barry Crimmins, who's a comedian, a political satirist.
I'm watching CNN one day and they put this question up, is racism getting better in America? And I said, oh yeah, it's at the top of its game.
He's always been a very intense guy, and as an adult, Barry took the steps and dealt with his child abuse. The genesis of this movie came about, Robin Williams was my best friend, and he knew Barry's story. Robin encouraged me to make a documentary about Barry, and in fact, he gave me the initial money to start filming the doc. When he was looking for other survivors on AOL, this is in the early 90s, he found pedophiles exchanging child pornography, and when he complained to AOL, they didn't do anything, and he went to the police, they didn't even have computers in their offices at that time. It's hard to think about at a time like that. But Barry wasn't getting any help, so he got all this evidence, and he ended up taking AOL all the way to the floor of the Senate and kind of embarrassing them to police themselves.
So I live in upstate New York, and all we have up there are like prisons and Walmarts. That's how you give directions. You go past your third minimum security place on the right, and then you go right at the intersection. There's a superstore, and I'll meet you right at the point of absolute economic collapse.
I think it had a lot to do with Barry realizing that nothing could really hurt him anymore. And I noticed a shift in Barry. And Barry's still funny, and he's still sharp, and he's still, I hate to say angry, but he's still got fire in him. And now, after that metamorphosis, he went from just being a bar comedian to a guy who became a peace activist and an adult survivor supporter, and he's just changed a lot of lives.
I think the problem with this country is we would rather create veterans than care for them. We spend everything we have trying to kill ourselves, and you know what? We're succeeding at that. There's nothing more poisonous, more lethal, more awful, more stupid, or more wasteful than the endless pursuit of how to be more effectively violent.
One of the things that was really pleasant to find out was that it turns out in Barry's neighborhood, and he lives in the middle of the woods, to find out that there's a lot of neighbors that Barry actually takes care of, be it deliver groceries to and stuff. And it's very funny because if you meet Barry, he's intimidating, but to think of him as this guy that goes over to his friend's house and does his dishes. It's nice to do a movie about your friend, and as you peel away the onion, you find out that he's even a better man than you imagined.